When Alexandra Eala saved match point at 5 deuces in the 12th game of the third set in Indian Wells, the crowd inside the stadium ceased to be a tennis enthusiast. This is not a sentimental story. It's a reckoning.
Last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where did these people come from?
Early in 2026, Nadal's shock was featured in every headline. However, this is what the confirmed record actually demonstrates. It's also considerably more fascinating than shock. November 19, 2025, precisely 1 year after retiring from professional tennis after the Davis Cup, Rafael Nadal returned to a court in Mallorca, Spain, for a 45-minute intense training session with Alexandra Eala rather than for a charity exhibition or press conference. When it came to professional competition, Nadal said to Jorge Valdano on the Mover Plus program, Un Verso Valdano, that his tank was already empty. Nevertheless, Nadal decided to play his first high-intensity match with a 20-year-old from Quezon City, Philippines, rather than a peer or a past foe. That's not surprising. That is a purposeful investment. And throughout those 45 minutes, what did Nadal concentrate on? Eala's left-handed forehand requires specialized technical effort. 4 months later, at Indian Wells, the identical left-handed forehand was slicing through Diana Yastremska's defensive setup like a knife. However, the Nadal link doesn't stop there.
The way that she's been able to pack stadiums and the way that her country supports her is something special.
It was stated by Alexandra Eala herself. Both of us are lefties. I adored the way he battled on the court. I thus make an effort to channel that as well. That's not motivational language. Tactical doctrine is that. Eala and Diana Yass, rated 52nd in the world, squared off in a match that lasted precisely 163 minutes on March 7, 2026, during a chilly late-night session at the BNP Paribas Open. The tennis balls felt heavier in the chilly air, according to Eala. You may learn everything about the circumstances she was enduring from just one detail. This is how Eala's strategy works against Yass and other right-handed opponents. Her cross-court left-handed forehand creates a high bouncing trajectory that hits squarely on the opponent's backhand, necessitating defensive play, mistakes, and precisely the kind of breakdown and that third set Yastremska had an experience. Eala was on the verge of elimination after falling to 45 in the decisive. She changed, deepened her returns, interfered with Yastremska's service rhythm, broke back to 55, held at love to reach 65, and ended the match in a 12th game that ended in 5 deuces. 1 game, 5 deuces, and a decisive set while behind. 65 ranking points and $61,865 in prize money were awarded for that victory. And what transpired next altered the course of events in a way that no one anticipated. Coverage of the 2026 Indian Wells run frequently uses the term Filipino Army. However, that expression reduces something really specific to something extremely ambiguous. And the true narrative is in the details. With an estimated 2 million Filipino residents, California has the largest Filipino population in the United States. The audience at Stadium 1 is not like that. That is the local populace. Eala's court and 6 practice sessions became a documented reality because to the diaspora infrastructure. Every drill is captured by fans using selfie sticks. Spectators watching her exercise from nearby courts. All of that comes from the pool of 2 million people. Eala is introducing a new demographic to the sport, boosting center court occupancy, and extending the WTA's reach throughout the Southeast Asian diaspora, according to tournament officials at the 2026 BNP Paribas Open. According to insiders, the crowd was primarily Filipino during the game, which was a much-needed boost during that chilly, exhausting late-night session. Cultural hype is not what this is. The disturbance to the market is quantifiable. In real time, the WTA is observing a change in the population. The catalyst is Alexandra Eala. However, not everyone was having fun. The pro-Eala crowd at the 2026 Australian Open was chastised for yelling and applauding Park's careless mistakes during Eala's match against Alicia Parks. The tension at the core of the Eala phenomenon is what observers referred to as a hostile environment. No headline wants to go into great detail about this. The same Filipino Army that tournament organizers praise for packing seats and boosting online participation was called out by security for acting in a way that deviates significantly from standard tennis etiquette. The WTA is facing a significant logistical obstacle. How to channel that energy without alienating the sport's current base is important because a fan base this size, this emotionally involved, and this culturally different from the sport's historical audience doesn't automatically conform to Wimbledon period crowd norms. No tournament director has responded to that query in public. The crowd friction narrative is actually the smallest controversy in the Eala media ecosystem, so this is where things get more tricky. This is what Eala's verifiable financial record as of March 2026 indicates: a career salary of roughly $1,665,667. She made about $97,000 in 2025 alone, approximately 53 million Philippine pesos. At $332,000, the Miami Open in 2025 was her biggest career payout. Here's what the internet said. Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, a billionaire from Abu Dhabi, offered Eala a $1.6 billion contract with a $1 billion down payment and $600 million a year for 10 years. Fact-checkers verified that it was a total fabrication. There was no such offer. Eala herself voiced worry over the dissemination of what she described as shocking news on the internet. Nadal's shocking headlines were created by the same manufacturing process. Stories of Oprah Winfrey insulting Eala and claims that Novak Djokovic boycotted ABC in support of her. None of it was backed up by a single confirmed story from a significant news or sports organization. What is genuinely real? Analysts characterize Eala's Milo endorsement agreement as a huge financial buffer that funds an entire traveling crew that includes professional physiotherapists. What is genuinely real? A future WTA event in Manila is the subject of serious discussions. What is genuinely real? Eala was ranked 31st in the world going into Indian Wells 2026. As a seated professional with a first-round bye, not as a wild card or qualifier. The difference between the real Eala and the one that was created is astounding. Ironically, the fake version downplays the importance of the original. Eala's opponent in round 3 at Indian Wells 2026 was world number 4 Coco Gauff, who had already faced her at the Dubai Championships quarterfinal a few weeks prior. Gauff was also Eala's doubles partner. Nowadays, the Gauff-Eala matchup is referred to as a major WTA rivalry between the rising Asian market and the established American elite. This framing is deliberate. The rivalry between the face of American tennis and the player known as the Pacquiao of tennis, whose career has become a national movement in the Philippines, offers premium broadcast value across two of the biggest sports markets in the world. The WTA is a commercial organization. Eala will try to surpass her record 2025 semi-final performance at the Miami Open, which is set for March 17 to 29, 2026, following Indian Wells. She defeated Madison Keys as a wild card and EGA Sway 8 during that same run. The new standard Eala is now expected to accomplish is to defend those ranking points in addition to making 3 quarterfinal appearances in the first 2 months of 2026. She has already been ranked among the top 10 threats by experts. That goal is doable at number 31 in the world. On March 7, 2026, Eala left the Indian Wells court after defeating Dana Yimska in 163 minutes, earning $61,865, adding 65 ranking points toward a top 20 goal, and using a left-handed forehand developed in Mallorca under a 22-time Grand Slam champion who had come back to the court especially for her. The Filipino Army rejoiced. Officials from the tournament took notes. In the California desert, the WTA observed its demographic future. However, no one has yet to provide an answer to this question. When a player this gifted is followed into the top levels of professional tennis by such a sizable and fervent fan base, when does the audience cease to be an asset and begin to act as the apologies?